Here we go. Welcome to Guardians and Gladiators this week. I'm your host, Lauzie, and always my good friend D is with me.
Ho, ho, ho. We're getting close to that time of year, Lucy. Although, as we talk right now, it's pouring rain out, so it's not exactly Christmassy, but oh well, I'm sure we'll get there at some point. It's not all about the weather, is it?
No, it's not.
Good. All right, I'm excited about this week. We got another a great week ahead for us. A couple of athletes are joining us this time. We're going to have two buddies who are going to be speaking with us side by side. We'll talk to them about their experiences with Special Olympics and what it's like, making friends through the whole organization as well. And then we're going to go on another little road trip, not as far as we went the last time across the border. We're just going to head down the QEW this time to the Niagara area. And we're going to speak with a long-time torch runner. Long time. I mean, this guy is old. He is about as old as torch runners get. I'm excited to have our friend Mike Mcallister on. Mike is retired from Niagara Regional Police Service, and he has been with the torch run for a long time. So we're looking forward to speaking with him, getting some perspective from his involvement with the torch run, as well as speaking with our two athletes, Jason and James. So we will be right back with our first guests after this.
And welcome back to Guardians and Gladiators. Folks, we're going to go with our first guest, James Taylor and Jason Hall. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lauzie and D.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's great to have you guys on the show.
Excellent. I do have a nickname.
You have a nickname? Well, we're all about nicknames here, so you give me your nickname.
They called me, when I was playing in Oakville, it was James Taylor. What's that, Jason?
Taylor.
Yeah, that's what it was.
What was it?
What was it again, Jason?
James Taylor.
Terror?
Yeah.
Like a
He is
terror?
a
Like
terror.
a scary kind of dude? Is that what you mean? James the
Like-
Terror
like that.
Yeah, and
Taylor?
I got a nickname.
What's yours,
That's
Jason?
fitting.
Hurricane.
Hurricane. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Full of hot air? What is that all about?
I don't know.
Wow. So you have the hurricane and the terror. I'm a little afraid, Lauzie. How about you?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did you guys start with Special Olympics, and you guys, like, how long have you guys been best friends?
Well, I started with Special Olympics. I can't remember the year I started with Special Olympics, but I started there for a while. I think I've been there for about 20 years.
Wow.
And I remember getting the Sportsperson of the Year in 2015. That's when I played with Stratford then. And they surprised me with Sportsman of the Year. They were trying to get people to guess. Do you remember that, Derek?
Yeah, I
That day?
remember that with 2015, right? It doesn't seem like
Yeah,
it was
and then
that
they
long
started-
ago.
Yeah, and they started playing, and then they said, if you're not too sure, we'll give you a hint with James Taylor's song.
You didn't sing it, right?
No, I didn't say it, no.
That's good.
Speaking of James Taylor songs, how about you two? When did you guys meet up?
We met, when did we meet, Jason?
2012 at softball.
Wow. And Jason, when did you start with Special Olympics?
2012.
There you go. So you've been in it.
Just
we're
played
almost
basketball and softball. That's it for 2012. Then went to floor hockey.
floor hockey. And you guys are both involved in floor hockey still, aren't you?
I'm not playing right now, though.
You're not playing right now? Okay.
No.
Jason, are you back playing floor hockey again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm doing bowling right now.
You're doing bowling, James? Nice. And is it back up and running again?
Yep.
Good.
Every Wednesday at 8:15 we start.
Very
At
good.
Gateway.
Yeah, Lauzie and I have been hearing as we've been doing these each week, we hear of different sports starting up, and it's really exciting. So it's great to know that both of you are going to be back out there taking part in some type of activities. That's excellent.
We went. Both teams of our teams went to Toronto for the provincial games in 2019. But you guys, after that, got invited to the Nationals. How was that?
It was awesome. We played with Oakville for Team Ontario. We flew up on Monday and we had a practice on Tuesday. And they have a award that they give out to every, like a player that does like a best job of practicing or in a game. It's called it's a Hound helmet.
Mhm.
So everybody signs the Hound helmet and you get your picture taken with it as a role, but you don't get to keep it. Just they take your picture with it.
Nice.
That's cool.
And that's for each game. They give that award to somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was the first one to get it for the practice.
Great. And
Then
what-
I was the next one to get it.
and Jason, you wear a mask though, don't you? So nobody can see your face. Is that why?
No, I was the goaltender.
Oh, because you're the goalie.
Full-time
That's
goaltender.
why. Okay, I got that mixed up. Sorry. Well, I got to say, I had the privilege of being in Thunder Bay that year and seeing you guys competing for Team Ontario. And I was very proud. I got to tell you, I remember being up on the top there, taking a few pictures of you guys down there. And I was very proud knowing you guys were from London and representing the London area.
Yeah.
Now, but
It
you
was
said
a
you
lot
were,
of fun.
yeah, you were playing for, what was the team you were playing for again?
It was Oakville.
Oakville. So how does that
Team
work?
Ontario.
How do you guys end up playing with Oakville at the national championships?
Well, they needed 3 players, so they took 2 from the C team. It
Mhm.
was
3 from the C team.
3 from the C team. It was David, Colford, and then me and Jason.
That's right. There was 3 of you there, wasn't there? Yeah. Nice. That's great.
That's
That's
cool.
excellent. Now, is that the first time you guys have traveled anywhere away from London to be involved, aside from Toronto? Have you been to any other places?
No, it was actually that's my first time to Thunder Bay for playing pro hockey.
Yeah. Nice.
But I've been to
Jason-
Thunder Bay before.
Okay.
First
What-
time for national games.
Yeah. And what about for provincials? Where have you been for provincials?
I've been to Toronto, Peterborough for bowling, Ottawa for hockey. Chris will remember that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I played with Stratford's team.
Very good. Very good.
So what?
I did softball for Stratford and in Pearl Region and our team for provincial games.
Excellent. So you've been around the province a little bit, you guys, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So listen, of all your time at Special Olympics, who are some of the special people in your life that you have met while competing in Special Olympics?
Well, I met Corey Perry when I came in with the coach for the Special Olympics on, I think it was 2015 when I did the first pitch.
For the torch run? That's right.
Yeah.
On July 1st, right? Yeah, I remember
And that
that.
was with Corey Perry.
Okay. What about special people in your life? Some special people in your lives. Obviously, you two met each other, you know, and now you're good friends. What about some other? Have you have other special people in your life that you've met through Special Olympics?
Well, I met my friend Amber and Mark and Ann and David through Special Olympics.
Great. All good friends of yours now?
Oh, all good friends.
Good. What about you, Jason?
Yeah. Met the police officers.
That's a really good one, because I can tell you from the other side that all the police officers that meet you guys on a regular basis, that's one of the highlights of their career. I can tell you, me personally, but a lot of people that I've spoken to at the police station as
Yeah.
well feel the same way.
And I had few of them as my soccer coaches,
Yeah.
Shayna and others.
Nice. Actually, do you know what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna do a little shameless plug here on our show. Guardians and Gladiators would like to shout out to the newest torch runner, the child of Shayna and Travis, that was born a couple of days ago. You guys probably don't even know this, do you? This is
No.
breaking news. Chris, we needed that breaking news sound
Breaking
again.
news.
This is breaking news here on Guardians and Gladiators. Yeah, isn't that exciting?
That is exciting.
Yeah, so we like to shout out to the newest addition to the Winches family, Travis and Shayna. So breaking news from Guardians and Gladiators, born to parents Shayna and Travis, is Taylor Joe Winches. Isn't that exciting? A brand new
That's very
baby daughter
cool.
for Shayna.
Wow. That's great news.
Yeah,
That is great news.
that is good timing with you guys talking about the police officers coaching and Shayna and everything, because there we go. Exciting news. And you heard it first on Guardians and Gladiators.
Right here.
Excellent.
Very good. Well, that's excellent. And let's just take a second. Now, what are you guys doing with your time? Do you guys work?
Yeah, I work at Community Live in London as a receptionist. I
Okay.
answered all the phone calls that come in.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes a lot of phone calls, sometimes not. Right now, it's pretty not busy much.
Right. Good. And Jason, are you working right now?
I do work at home with, I get scrap metal
Yep.
and I take it apart, then take it to the scrapyard.
Nice. Good for you. Good. Well, James, we're going to shout out to Community Living because we like to recognize any of the employers out here that hire people with intellectual disabilities, and we've talked about Lauzie's employer before and other people that have been on the show. So we'll have a nice shout out to Community Living London, and I'm going to let Lauzie talk to you about his experiences with you and Community Living London that we were discussing earlier.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Whole bunch of stuff. So you know Sandy Garvin, right?
Yes, I know
Yeah.
her very well. She's like my
Should
job
know her.
coach.
So she would come to my work and be like, we're gonna take your picture, put it on the website and stuff like that. And then I go on the website the next few days and I'm like, what the heck is this? Why is James Taylor's always on the website? So I give her a call and I'd be like, why is James Taylor always on here? And you said it was me.
So Lauzie gets a little worked up when we talk about this one, James. So apparently you're more photogenic and more website worthy than my co-host here. So that's why we do a show that's audio only, because
Yeah.
then they can't see either one of us and people might still listen.
What can I say? The camera loves me.
The camera
me too.
loves you. I like it. I like it. Well, that's excellent. You know, before we let you guys go, we have something that we do
Oh,
with all of our athletes.
I-
Oh, wait a second. You got another question there, Lauzie?
One more question, yeah. So can you tell us what happened with your baseball team going to the Blue Jay game?
Sure, I could tell you what happened. Well, we all met at Walmart near White Oaks Mall, and they had this big, humongous bus that was for the team. So Taylor said, well, we're going to go to Kansas Wonderland. So everybody was thinking, oh, wow, we're going to Kansas Wonderland for our end of year party trip. So we get on the bus and he says, actually, we're not going to Kansas Wonderland. We're going to the Jays game. And everybody was cheering. And everybody was so loud. Everybody was having fun. And they came out with jerseys for everybody that differently made for us. And the ones they hold up was actually mine. The first one they hold up in the video was mine name, last
Wow.
name. And we had
Wow.
hats and it was fun. And we just went to the game and we had a blast. And there was pizza, chips, pop. We just partied it up all night.
Face painting.
Oh yeah, that too.
Wow. Yeah, we had Taylor on our show last week and we were talking about that trip and how amazing it was. So here we go. Two
Yeah.
people who were right in the middle of the party. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
fun.
awesome. All right, guys. As Special Olympic athletes, we follow an oath. Can you guys tell me the oath?
Sure.
Sure.
Let me win,
Let me
but if I
win,
cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
Can you guys tell us when you guys were brave at the attempt?
Yes, was when I was in Thunder Bay and we were playing against Quebec. I was brave in the attempt when I shot the puck from the center, the middle wing
Yeah.
spot in center ice or center wing.
Mhm.
When I shot it from there and it went right in.
Whoa, right from center. That's
Yes,
awesome.
right from center. And that's when I was proud in the
Wow.
attempt.
What about you, Jason?
Me with making the Thunder Bay newspaper for my big save, stacking the pads.
Yeah. I saw a few of those 2-pad stacks that you came up with up there. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, very good. That's great, guys. We love hearing those stories. It's so great. All right. Well, we appreciate you both joining us tonight, taking some time out of your busy schedules. We had a great time having you on. It's always nice to speak to different athletes from around the area, and it's great when we can get a couple of people who are buddies and met during Special Olympics. And it really shows us that there's so much more to Special Olympics than just the sports themselves, isn't there?
Oh
There
yeah.
is.
This is where the friendship and bonding away from Special Olympics continues. It's just great with these guys.
It is. We've seen it with friends, and just in our short time on the show, we've had couples on here that met with Special Olympics, and yeah, it's just great. Every week, it's great to see more and more examples of that. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining us. We are going to take off for a short break, and we will be right back after this.
Okay, well, thank you, Dee, and thank you, Lauzie.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Welcome back to Guardians and Gladiators. Excellent first part to our show with James and Jason. Had a lot of fun chatting with them. Now we're moving on to, we'll call it the veteran portion of the show. We talked at the opening, Lauzie, you and I, about our next guest being around a torch run for a long, long, long time. He's a very old person. He's been there forever.
Yeah, you called them old.
Yeah, you can't not when you're talking about how long he's been around the torch run. Anyway, I'm just kidding. He's not that old, and he acts much younger as well. So let's welcome to the show from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Mike Mcallister. Welcome, Mike.
Hello, fellas.
How was that for an introduction? Getting called old and everything before you've even said a word.
I've been called worse. I'll just stick with that. How's that?
How long have you been part of the Torch Run Ontario?
Well, Lauzie, I don't do math really well. That's one of the things I was going to tell you, because I was trying to figure out the numbers, but I wore this instead because I think it's been since 1987.
There you go.
And that was the first one in Ontario. I think there were six torch runs that year.
Very nice. And that's the year it came to Ontario. That's right. Celebrating the 35th anniversary as we head into 2022. Exciting stuff.
Very exciting.
Exciting. So, Mike, speaking of exciting, the last time we had an international conference back in 2019 was in Colorado. And while we were down there, they give away a few awards. And of course, it's international. So, Lauzie, you're looking at about 1,200 people there from across the world, law enforcement personnel. The torch run is just a worldwide thing. And there's an award that they give out, and it's called the John Carrion Award. And the John Carrion Award is nicknamed as the Unsung Hero Award. And that's given out to a member of a torch run program from, again, across the world. This isn't just, in Canada or the US, because there is a world outside of the US, right? We've learned that as we've gone along here. But this award is given out to somebody who contributes so much to Special Olympics and really, is not in it for recognition and just just does the work without being asked any questions, is always there. You can always count on them to be around, and as I mentioned, we're looking at 93 different torch run programs across the world. And the winner of the John Carrion Award in 2019 was none other than this man right here, Mr. Mike Mcallister. So Mike, congratulations again on that award. It
Wow,
seems
yeah.
like it was a long time ago, but really it was the last international we had before COVID hit. So it's still pretty fresh. You are the most recent winner of that award, and it's quite an honor.
It's beyond an honor, and I'm gonna do exactly what I did when I got it. It's given to an individual. I love that. I think it's great that people get recognized, but this is a team sport. Ontario is wearing purple in Aurora,
That's right.
and it was a sea of purple. And I said, see that table over there with all those 30 people over there with purple on it? That's who won this. It's Ontario's got a great program, and it's because of, well, folks like D here and athletes like you got it, Lowe's. Hey,
Yeah.
because we just push until we get more money. Push till we do more sport. Hey, we got to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was quite a day. We were all so proud of you. Like you talk about that sea of purple over there. There wasn't one person not just beaming with pride when you got announced as the winner, Mike.
Well, I got to tell you a funny story about that. Can I tell you a funny story about that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell a funny story.
All right. I'm not going to get into too much detail here, but I was there with a friend of mine. Of course, I miss him a lot. And I hadn't even sat down yet, Lauzie. I got this award in my hand. I just went up there and said, thank you. And he said, that's great, Mac. Now you got to earn it.
Take a second, Mike, and talk about that friend of yours, because I think it'd be very nice to share that with our listeners that aren't familiar with him.
His name was Teddy Farr. You're going to hear a lot about him over the next couple of years. He was a great man, but he's left this universe and he's gone into something, I hope, better. But he was my riding buddy. We traveled a lot of places, and then we dragged people along with us too, and we filmed things that were kind of a little, we like to make people laugh. So yeah, we'd do motorcycle trips to different conferences, and we'd film it along the way and make friends and tell them why we were riding, where we were riding, and just keep on marketing, the law enforcement torch run program and athletes with Special Olympics, because the whole world needs to know, and not all of them do yet. So we're going to keep doing that.
That's great. That's great. Yes.
That's
Lauzie, we lost Teddy during the last couple of years, and it was a big loss to Torch Run Ontario, but also to all Torch Run members across the world. So yeah, thanks, Mike. That's a nice little tribute to Teddy.
What big event have you been with the torch run? Like any national games or anything like that?
You know what, Lauzie? I didn't travel a lot of places. I've been to a few conferences in the last few years. I like to stay at home and send people and grow the brand and all that kind of things. But I've got a few special things. Wow. You know what? I've carried the torch into 3 different games here in Ontario. One of them my own in Niagara. I ran the torch run into a Skippy's games up in Sound there, the winter games. Ran downhill in my kilt. Whew, that was cold.
I bet.
And I'm trying to think where the other one was, but I've carried that torch into a few games openings, and man, oh man, you just get filled with emotion because everybody's just so excited and everybody's high-fiving you, and you're trying not to drop the flame and start a fire, But you got to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
But I've run into a few games, and it just fills me with joy. Just fills me with joy. That whole arena, that whole venue that we're in with all the athletes, their families, and the community, the media, it rocks the place. Yeah, it always rocks the place, and I think that's one of the things I enjoy doing the most.
Yeah, excellent. I have to agree with you, Mike. There's no feeling like that, and I know for a lot of torch runners, the first time they do that, that's what hooks them. And good luck getting rid of them after an experience like that, because it is quite amazing.
Well, it's because you got guys like Lauzie giving you high fives, running into the room, smiling, calling you great.
That's right.
He really doesn't know me that well yet, Derek.
So let me take you back. Geez, we're closing in on 2 years. That's scary. Somewhere between 1.5 years to 2 years ago when this pandemic hit, and it was a scary time for a lot of people, right? We're all stuck in our houses. You weren't allowed to leave. A lot of people were figuring out how to use Zoom meetings and different things to try and connect with people. And you came up with something on social media, Mike, particularly on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about 10 a day till it's okay.
Okay. Well, you're right. It was all coming so fast, wasn't it? It was this thing we didn't understand. It was somewhere else in the world, but it was coming fast and the numbers were growing and we didn't know what it was. And suddenly it kind of almost got here. And I thought to myself, you know what? Our athletes aren't going to be able to go to practice. They're going to close all the venues. They're not going to be able to see their teammates. If they live in a home, mom and dad are going to come get them and take them home because they don't want them to be, in an environment where they can't help them out. I knew the programming was going to go down, but look how long it's been down. That's really kind of what I'll throw there now. But anyway, so I have a son, Aiden. Aiden has autism. He lives in Niagara Falls with his mom. And I knew he was going to be suffering the same thing. He wasn't going to be able to see his friends and I wasn't going to be able to see him. We had to lock things down and be careful. So I thought, you know what? Let's do 10 a day till it's okay. 10 of something. Let's do some push-ups. Let's do some sit-ups. Let's do some jumping jacks. So I reached out to some guardians around the world that some of them I just met. Some of them I don't even know. They're best friends now. But I just said, hey, how can we make this work? So if you're going to build something, you grab Jimmy Johnson up there in Alaska. Everybody wants to see him do push-ups with a mountain in the background. So we grabbed Jimmy and young Ross over in Scotland. He's starting a brand new program and we wanted to help him. I was hoping to visit Scotland and tour around with him and kind of help him with some events. But we didn't get to do that. So we got him on the team. You can't do anything like this without Santa. So I called down to Jersey Joe and made sure he was okay. And he was just going to show us t-shirts. And then he started doing exercises and the same with RT out there in Wyoming. Anyway, we got this core group of people. I think there's about 10 or 12 of us. We got a couple of folks out in Alberta and a couple more in Alaska and South Dakota. And we just started doing 10 a day till it's okay. And we have a number of ambassador athletes that come out and do them. They're still doing them every day. We got Michael McKinley. He was living in St. Louis. And now he's back to Scotland. He's still doing 10 a day for today.
Right.
Because it became okay. So we started changing things from 10 a day till it's okay, till 10 a day for today, because it's okay.
That's right.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, it was great. It really took off. The hashtag, you could see it all over Facebook. And like you say, it was great watching the athletes. I know Tom down in New Jersey there, and we.
Oh, he's a rock star, Tommy Moon.
Yeah,
he's a power lifter. I think he's lost like 30 or 40 pounds, and he's lifting more weight than he was before.
He's something else, isn't he? Yeah, it was really good, and that was exciting. And you started that up, and again, I know you don't want the credit, but I'm gonna give you the credit for it anyways. It was definitely something that I think made. It gave people something to look forward to every day, especially the athletes and the people that you've mentioned, and definitely went a long way. It's so hard to believe that, that 10 a day has been going on for over a year and a half now. That's incredible.
I'll tell you something, Derek, because that was just the idea I came up with at the time. This is the idea you two came up with. I think the world's changing. We all recognize that, and we all care about our athletes and our programs and the other guardians. I mean, we're one big family. And I think everybody's doing their own bit to figure out where this goes in the future and navigate that strange day, because every day is a different day anymore. We're still wearing masks, but we're still doing 10 a day.
Yeah.
We're still laughing and giggling. We're still celebrating birthdays for people. Life goes on, and we have to figure out how to do it properly and safely and take care of each other, because that's the whole game here, right? But the athletes take care of us and we take care of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How long were you part of the police force?
Way too long, Lauzie, way too long. It beat me up. It was just under 34 years, almost 34 years. I left a while ago now. I don't, like I said, I don't do math anymore. I just get up the next day.
It's great. Yeah,
about 34. So listen, Lauzie, I got told to do the first one. All right, get the kid who did, because the Olympic torch was going out to Calgary, and I was attached to the team. There was 3 of us that were there to guide the Olympic torch when it went through the Niagara region on its way to Calgary. So the chief already knew that I did this torch thing, and he said, "Get that kid back here that was doing the torch thing last year, and he can do this new torch thing." So they gave me the law enforcement torch run, and they've never had to ask again, because it's like the coolest thing going. We all know that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, let me take you back to all your years with the Torch Run, Mike, and all of the, I think we call them kickoff conferences now. At the beginning of the year, when we get everyone together, we come up with new fundraising ideas. We talk about what our goals are going to be, and you would stand up and you would say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here, and we're going to raise $1 million one day.
That's right.
Right? And we're going to raise $1 million. Everybody's go, okay, Mike. Yeah, okay, that's good. And what did we do? We raised $1 million.
Over
right?
$1 million.
Over $1 million. And then you would stand up and say, all right, well, I'm still not going anywhere. I'm going to be here until we raise $2 million.
Yep.
So we raised $2 million. And a very, very short time later, we raised $3.3 million. So, Mike, I got this question. Is it because everybody wants to raise money for the Torch Run, or they want to see you finally leave? Because you say you're not going anywhere until they raise the money. So they do it, but you keep coming back.
You see the kind of treatment you get here, Lauzie?
Yeah.
It's a good thing they're friends, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But your friends can say things like that.
No, those stand out in my mind, Mike. We're seeing you there, and I joke when I say it's because we wanted you to leave. No, absolute opposite thing. We'd hear you, and it gave people inspiration, it gave them motivation, and it just shows that this program in Ontario is so good. It went out, and it beat every one of those goals. And
well, I think one of the things that's important to know from my perspective is I'm not just that guy who's been around since the beginning, and I'm not just that guy who comes up with some silly ideas that we turn into money, because that's what seems to happen. I'm a parent, and I have an athlete for a son. This movement, this call it what you will, the law enforcement torch run taught me how to talk to my son. I understand him. I know what he needs as far as advocacy, and the opportunities that are available to him out there in the community to play sport and to meet guys like Chris here, because that's the whole point. We want everybody to just get along, have a great day, just like the rest of us do, and good things happen as we go. Because this is a feel good event. Every day has a silver lining with this event. Yeah. Every day.
Lauzie, what do we see the theme on this show all the time about Special Olympics? About it's
Families.
Not about the sports. Yes.
No,
exactly.
It's about families and friends and the bondage.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to see that, and you're absolutely right, Mike.
Can I just point something out? I'm a trained observer.
Sure.
I'm a trained observer. We all know that, eh? Lauzie's wise. You know how I know that?
Yeah, I know why.
He's got an owl over his shoulder. I thought it was Harry Potter there for a minute.
He drew that the other day and colored it, so he posted it up in his room there to let us see it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Mandy does. One of our gals on 10 today, Mandy Manzaro. Yeah. She does some great artwork too there. Keep up the great work there.
No, it's called diamond art. My wife does that.
I try to give you some credit. There you go. All right. Well, we'll give your wife a shout out.
No, I can't do that. I don't have the patience for that.
That's great. Well, listen, Mike, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. It's always great to hear from the Torch Run side of it, and people like you, and I know there's so many other people like you out there. We've had the privilege of talking to a few of them on this show, and it's great because we love to get both sides of this, from the Special Olympics side as well as from the Torch Run side. And that's the name, right? Guardians and Gladiators. We're the Guardians of the Flame, but these are the Gladiators that go out there and do the work every day. So
you know what? Guardians of the Flame and Gladiators of the Flame rock.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Hey, Lauzie, don't let him push you around, okay?
Okay.
He doesn't. Don't worry.
I know he's trying to run the show, but you make sure you get your input.
This is his show. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, fellas. Good luck. I'm sure we'll be back.
All right. You take care, Mike. And Lauzie and I will be right back after this.
And welcome back to Guardians and Gladiators. Wow, that was another great episode this week, wasn't it, Derry?
It's amazing, isn't it? It doesn't matter who we have on here. They're all superstars. Like we are so lucky we get to talk to these people every week, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. It's been exciting.
Yes. So today we get to hear from a couple of buddies, a couple of Special Olympic buddies, and and then we move on and we speak to let's just call him a senior member of the law enforcement torch run in Ontario. That's probably more respectful because I shouldn't be disrespectful to a guy like Mike. He is outstanding and he epitomizes everything that torch run is. He's that unsung hero award. Couldn't have went to a better guy. It's just the way he is, do all kinds of things, but not looking for any credit for it. So really enjoyed having Mike on and being able to chat with him about the early years of the torch run and then right up to how he helped a lot of people worldwide get through the pandemic and some tough times there with his 10 a day till it's okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that wraps up another excellent week for us. We are already looking forward to speaking with you guys next week. Remember, we are Guardians and Gladiators. We are the Special Olympics podcast that matches up the Special Olympic athletes along with the Guardians of the Flame. But let's not kid anybody. This is all about Special Olympics, isn't it, Lauzie?
That is correct. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to let you guys go for this week. Thank you again for joining us. We can't wait to speak with you again next week.
Until next week, folks, have a good week.